Thank you for watching Ben Television. The program is You Decide. My name is Sheikh Johnson. We give you facts, information, and analysis. But at the end of the day, you decide. I'm so glad you are watching. The United Kingdom is sizzling. It's very hot here. Good weather, as they say, and many people are in the beach, in the sea, swimming. But here am I having a discussion with you. I'm so glad you are watching. We're going to discuss why not release us from this lockdown, Boris Johnson. We're going to discuss things that do frighten the minorities. And a book is written on that, and we shall be dealing in that. And then we have discussion on two states, Delta State, River State. We'll be discussing the issue of President Buhari and the press. Today's show is loaded. In the studio with me to discuss this, we have our in-house researcher, Nat Yakwo. Nat, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
And also we have our in-house analyst, Gosin Azu. Mazi Gosin, you are welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Johnson and our great people out there watching.
And our colleague from Milan, Mark Godwin. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Johnson. Good morning to the viewers out there. Another beautiful day here. Thank you.
Yes, we have two guests. Honorable Kenneth Badi, all the way from Germany. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Nice being on your program, waiting from continental Europe.
Continental Europe. I like that. Last but not the least is the author amongst us who has written a book, Not Unto Death, Otumba Fadikwe. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. Continental Europe, UK, and Africa.
You cover the globe. Well, it's no longer news that Boris Johnson has decided to extend the lifting of total restriction in the United Kingdom. And like we have been told, like one of us, that they don't even want us in Europe at this moment because of the Delta variant. We moved from the Indian variant to Nepal variant to Delta variant. I hope we will not get the Rivers variant and the Oyo State variant and all this because the Indians said, don't use our name. It's not an Indian variant. And then they suddenly jumped to Nigeria. They call it Delta variant. We don't want to have Borno variant. Anyway, let me just say, I have an opinion here. Boris Johnson told us 3 months ago that he's going to lift all the restrictions on June 21. June 21 happens to be the longest day in the year. And we were all thinking, why did he choose the longest day, shortest night day? And we know that so many spiritual things are said to be carrying on that day. But now he has shifted it from June 21 to July 19. Why the number 19, July 19? Why? I mean, is it because it's COVID-19? Then it has to be July 19, the 7th month in the 19 days. Everything it has to be rhyming with some numbers. But let me ask Nat, bring us up to date. What is happening in the United Kingdom? Is it a case of living with COVID permanently, or we are just our time is being wasted by the Prime Minister?
I think what is happening is the United Kingdom as a country, as a government led by Mr. Boris Johnson, is going towards being a rogue state. We can no longer rely on any statement coming out from number 10 for the Prime Minister who told the whole world that June 21 is going to be almost irreversible, and that he was going to go by data, not by anything else. But we are seeing now, a few days to June 21, the Prime Minister is coming out to say if the date is not shifted to July 19, many people will die. He has forgotten that he made the same statement some months ago, which he denied, that there are bodies all over, dead bodies all over the place. Coming said it, and the Prime Minister said he never said such a thing. And so we don't know how long this particular Boris Johnson is going to think he can deceive most of the people most of the time. That is not going to work. You can deceive some people for some time, but not all the time. Because anything else coming out of July 19 is going to be a big challenge to Boris' government, because even the Speaker of the House was very furious that the Prime Minister would go ahead to announce such a thing without even clearance from the Parliament. The first thing was Boris should have taken this in the Parliament, and then they will debate and vote. But I understand, I think there was something like a vote yesterday or debate. I don't know if there was a vote taken. So we're becoming weary of the government. And there were people protesting a day or two ago. And I think one BBC reporter was manhandled and just driven away from covering the event. Only Johnson to turn up to say those people protesting are irresponsible. I don't know who is more irresponsible than Boris and the present government.
Gossin, what's your take? The Conservative Party is wobbling, isn't it?
Well, Doc, the Conservative Party is not really wobbling. It's just the fact that there's a very strong political leadership disconnection between Boris Johnson and the scientific academic world. And he is more or less losing his antecedents as a political element leading a nation. Somebody was yesterday saying that if it were Theresa May or Margaret Thatcher, would they listen to the scientists and concur always with the scientist's opinion? The fact here is that he is listening to statistics that are still very, very challenged, very, very inconsistent. And people are saying, following what the scientists are saying and the statistics they are giving, it doesn't really warrant any further extension of the lockdown step down. And the problem is that Boris Johnson is really lacking in taking a strong political stand and a decision to really get the nation opened up and move forward. And it's most likely that he's not comfortable with his own view of what is going on within the political context. Rather, he is depending and relying on an absolute scientific record or decisions to be able to concur on what.
Is he trying to wash his hands? Is he trying to wash his hands by saying,
Well,
"Look,
yeah, I mean that is not acceptable because the ball falls on his table or the ball is in his court all the time. So if the failure of his decision happens, they're not going to say it's the scientists, they're going to say it's Boris Johnson's government. So the scientists will play their way out, but then he has to take the full responsibility of his statements and his decision in making such statements. Because
but can you really take away the restriction when the scientific results are not saying so? You cannot.
The fact is that even the last press statement he made and statistics were made by the scientists, the National Bureau of Statistics kind of challenged those statistics that they are not correct, and there's an obvious doubt that if the National Bureau for Statistics come up again, they may equally challenge what the scientists are given, the figures they are given, because if you say 1,000 people are hospitalized, and at the same time, most of them left the hospital without any serious impact of COVID on them. And the fact here is that they are kind of generalizing every hospital admission to be COVID, when people are saying there are more people hospitalized and bedded with other ailing ailments or illnesses, such as
let's hear from our brothers and sisters in Europe, how they see us. It is one thing how we see ourselves. Let's see, Mark, how do you guys see us in Europe? Are you expecting us anytime soon?
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. It's an interesting happening there. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, dashed the hope of additional financial support for business and delaying the opening of the UK economy by 4 weeks more. I want us to take note of some statements he made, which are very salient. The Prime Minister used words like, now is the time to ease off the accelerator towards unlocking. He also made a comment that this approach could save thousands of lives by vaccinating million more people. Now, let's not look at the other side of it. Let's reason with him. Saving lives. We all know this Delta variant, like they say, is it's hyper dangerous, hyper. And yes, everybody wants to open up. We want to get into business. Europe wants to do business and move around. People want to go back and forth around Europe and the UK. But we're talking of lives here. We're talking of health. We're talking of human vulnerability. So the cabinet minister also, Michael Gove, said on Thursday that the government was pretty confident that England will be able to progress to step 4 of the easing restriction by July 19. Yes, Europe wants the English people to come over. Italy is open for tourism, and the UK Englishman makes a lot of that percentage of tourists in Europe. But we need to really add caution to things and think of the lives of people. There are many more years of summer. There are many more years of tourism. So
in other words, we should take our time.
Yes, sir. That's the word.
Let's hear from Germany, where Angela Merkel is packing her load, and everybody is applauding her. Honorable Kenneth, you're welcome again. How do you people see us from Germany, and what's going on in Germany concerning the restrictions?
Well, so far, I remember the last time I had the opportunity to share my opinion on the situation in Germany. It was actually getting critical, and all the joy that Germany got things under control evaporated. But as of today, I can assure you that Germany is doing excellently well, as expected of a country like Germany. The lockdown is being eased up. The indices or the incidents, as they used to call it, is going dramatically down. And I think people are hoping that the summer is going to be a very normal summer in Germany. And so, yes, Angela Merkel has done a very great job. And I think if she succeeded in opening up Germany before she leaves office, I think she will be in the memory of Germany as one of the greatest chancellors ever.
When is she likely to leave, finally?
And the next general election coming up around September.
Okay, because she was the toast of the last G7 summit here in Cornwall in England. Everybody loved her, and she was enjoying it. Was the toast of everybody, and she's done very well, hasn't she?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, they were making some analysis. I think it's on CNN or BBC, where you saw the last picture of the G7, where Donald Trump was sitting down like a baby, folding his hands together, and you see the Angela Merkel was standing over him, trying to toast him, trying to encourage him to open up and be a man. So I think everybody understands she's one of the oldest on the hand in the international scene, and in the absence of America under Donald Trump, she actually filled that vacuum and helped to rid the global movement. And so yes, she has done extremely well.
Yeah, talking about the G7, I think Joe Biden showed very well, and America came out. Let me ask Otumba Fadikwe. It appears that America has come back to internationalism again, as against Donald Trump's isolationism. What do you think of the G7 show of Joe Biden?
I think it's absolutely good news for the world economy in general, for the G7 itself, for NATO, for everybody concerned. I think you can see the exuberance, the excitement on the faces of the leaders there. And I listened to what Angela Merkel said, going back to Angela Merkel, which was translated back to English. She was really saying that the fact that Joe Biden is now the president of the United States means that business, people can now sit down and actually discuss business in a reasonable way, which I find I find that very, very, I thought, what does that say about Donald Trump? But we all knew what Donald Trump's 4 year meant for all of this situation. So yeah, Joe Biden has come back. Joe Biden
Actually,
is
Donald Trump wasn't kind to Angela Merkel. You remember Angela Merkel went to visit Donald Trump, and when she left, Trump wasn't kind to her at all. So it was time.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I just come back to what Mark said? Mark's comment about the lockdown, Boris Johnson, and all of that. I'm not quite sure. I think Mark confused me a little bit, because at the beginning he said that Boris Johnson has delayed possible financial assistance from Europe by 4 weeks. And at the same time, he's supporting Boris Johnson continue to lock us up in this, whatever it's called. I mean, I don't understand that. At the end of the day, they're talking about all these thousands of hospital admissions, only 3 deaths and all that. See, the problem is, like Dr. Johnson said, we're here with COVID. We're going to live with this. This is like flu virus. It's not going anywhere. And I mean, how come America is completely open to business? That's one of the countries that suffered the most. So I'm thinking, really, Boris Johnson is just messing about. We're here. COVID is here. It's not going anywhere. It's about time we open our businesses up. It's about time small businesses that have suffered so much in the last 1 year are allowed to actually make some money. I mean, look at the entertainment industry. Look at the hospitality industry. What are we doing about that?
The airline industry.
The airline industry as well, yes.
Okay. I'll tell you, we can continue discussing this for the next 3 hours, but somebody help me. It appears Boris Johnson is giving the conspiracy theorists a chance to say, yes, we told you, these people want to control you. But I'm yet to be convinced. What are they trying to get out of it? Why will Boris not behave like the Americans and open up the place where we are going to live with this virus for many years to come? Are the conspiracy theories winning now?
Sorry, Dr. Johnson, can I just come in quickly? I mean, this might be, this is just my thinking. I think Boris is afraid of this lady from Scotland. What's her name?
Nicola Sturgeon.
Nicola Sturgeon. I think Boris is scared to death of Scotland having a second referendum. I think Boris is scared in the sense that if Nicola said, oh, we're still going to be on the lockdown, that's why we're controlling our this or that, then Boris wants to follow that in order that Scotland doesn't have this second referendum. Because the truth is, Boris knows if Scotland have another second referendum now, that referendum will say, yes, Scotland has to leave the United Kingdom. I think he's scared of that. So I think part of his dilly-dallying has to do with that. That's just my feeling.
You cannot lock us down forever, because Nicola Sturgeon is going to ask for this referendum at one point. And I mean, you cannot lock us down forever because of that. Nat Yakwo, quickly in 30 seconds. Why do you think this lockdown is still on? The conspiracy theory coming correct?
Yeah, the lockdown is still on because the pharmaceutical companies have invested so much money in the production of vaccine, and the vaccine is now piled up. Nobody to get vaccinated. Some of them have expired. Some of them have been destroyed. Some of them are going to be sent to developing countries, especially in Africa. So I think it's more of economics. It's more of a livelihood than life itself. And again, it's also politics. Boris Johnson wants to be seen to be performing, even if he's not. And so the whole thing is around vaccine.
Okay.
So, but
let me quickly ask Mark. Let me ask Mazi Godson. Mazi, I've been told, Otumba told me that is due to Nicola Sturgeon. Nat said it's about money making from the vaccine. Mazi, do you have another reason why he's locking us down? Because it's getting more interesting.
Well, I would say it's just the difference between power politics, leadership, and theory. And
will you conclude on your scientific scientist report? Is that what you concluded?
Well, that's with I mean, the scientists have always wanted to influence decisions of policymakers or political leaders' decision-making process or thought process, and they tried it in the US, but virtually they couldn't. They were almost playing it on Donald Trump, and then he left. But yet Biden came in and was able to stand his ground and to influence most of their scientific and their theoretical explanations by applying political thoughts towards his decision making, and that has gone across some of the countries in Europe, like Angela Merkel, Emmanuel Macron. Their decisions has always been to the greatest interest of their political strength and leadership, and not about the scientists trying to manipulate figures, manipulate theoretical ideas.
But someone just informed me, Mazi, someone just informed me that the data, you remember, Boris Johnson said it's going to be data, not date, and that the data hasn't concluded the health risk. The data is not yet helping with the health risk. The deaths are still there, but the deaths have gone down considerably. Will you think is about data, not date?
It's not about data, really. In reality, it's about fear. It's about the fear applications that the scientists are applying to the forms of data, because data is anything figures can be manipulated, but it's about the fear.
Well, supposing they are not manipulated, you are assuming the figures are manipulated. Supposing they are not manipulated.
Well, the fact remains that at various occasions, the National Bureau for Statistics has challenged some of these figures being projected by these scientists and the NHS as a whole. So like somebody said yesterday, is either Boris Johnson takes his stand, just like a normal prime minister will take a stand politically against the conspiracy construct of scientists and the NHS, trying to make the NHS influence what is about humanity. This is about
the nurses were not well paid anyway. The nurses were not well paid. So NHS is not well paid. Let me quickly, Mazi, let me move to Mark in Milan. Mark, do you want to change your mind? Otumba said you are confusing him that
no.
What do you want to say?
Otumba, I stand on what I said. We are monitoring situations from here, and we're not monitoring with we're not being partial or emotional. We're also looking at the facts and data. The government, the UK government, has spent £407 billion supporting businesses through this crisis.
Yes.
Nobody will say that is a gain to the government. So they are also spending. There are losses coming out from them. But they are not looking at this. They are looking more at the lives of you guys, the British people. So there's nothing confusing there. People could say anything. We are in a time when conspiracy theories and fallacies and guess-saying is ruling the world. A lot of people are being controlled by these things. But at the end of the day, the facts are there, reality is there. Let's begin to leave this conspiracy theory thing. It's causing detriment to governance and to people's way of thinking. Conspiracy theory is added to every little thing. But look, the facts are there. UK, Delta variant is with you guys. Do you people want to live with this, or you want to get into conspiracy theories and fallacies and pretend there's nothing? We're talking of lives here. Italy got it right.
Sorry. I don't believe in conspiracy. Quick one. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Delta virus is not just with us, Mark. It's with 70 other countries. That's what CNN said yesterday. Yes. 70 other countries. The point I'm trying to make is that you're right when you say that Boris Johnson denied the UK businesses of financial assistance. Now, follow program is no longer there. Even the assistance, the bring back business loan, whatever it is the government was offering, is no longer part of the consideration for this extension of 4 weeks. Look, you only need to go through the streets of London and see if businesses are suffering. Honestly, they're suffering big time. There's nothing going on. So what I'm saying is that I do understand, I do agree with you that everything is about life, it's about protecting life. But the people you are protecting, they're all out there anyway. The street is full up. So
okay,
how do you manage this?
We just must bring this to a close. Honorable Kenneth, from Germany, I know that you being a Nigerian from the Delta state, how did you respond or react to that word, Delta variant? How did they come to that conclusion, Delta variant? You hate that.
I wanted to ask the question. If the Delta variants actually meant from Delta State or Delta State to the United States. And so I was just waiting.
Delta Airlines.
I was hoping
maybe it's from Delta Airline in America.
Absolutely. I was hoping that I was just listening attentively to see whether any of the panelists would say it's from Delta in the United States or from Delta Airline. But I'm still yet to find out which of the Delta it is. But I know that I just spent 2 months in Nigeria. And surprisingly, as it may sound, and I think I shared that with in the last edition, that people apart from the airport and most of the government offices, people are going around without masks as if nothing is happening in Nigeria, which is actually frightening. But that's the situation in Nigeria, unfortunately. And so when I hear Delta variant, I'm trying to find out which of the Delta states are they talking about.
Okay, Honorable Kenneth, we are going on a break in a second. When we return, we'll be asking you what is happening in Delta State, far away from Delta variant. Please don't mind Boris Johnson. Okay, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be starting with what's going on in Nigeria, Delta State. Don't go away, stay with us.
Ben Television has been going for almost 2 decades now, representing the African, Caribbean, and ethnic communities in the diaspora, especially based in the United Kingdom. We have been providing content, various programs to empower, make an intervention, deliver, and enlighten the mainstream community about what it is to be a BAME in the United Kingdom. For almost 2 decades, this has been our ethos, bridging the gap. Now we seek for your support and partnership in delivering what we need to achieve in the coming generation for our youth, either through training, mentorship, empowerment for their entrepreneurial skill, talent, and in their business. Ben Television, bridging the gap, you're welcome to be with us. Thank you very much for joining and being partners of Ben TV, creating that bridge between the mainstream and the other communities in the United Kingdom and in Europe.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind, keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Thanks for staying with us. The program is You Decide, and we just must tell you the latest. We have the leader of the ADC, Honorable Kenneth Baggy, with us. I'm going to ask him to properly introduce himself and his party, and then zero in on what is going on in Delta State of Nigeria. Honorable Kenneth, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, sir. Again, it's a pleasure being on your esteemed program. Kenneth Band is my name, the National Deputy Chairman of African Democratic Congress, ADC, which is one of the only parties in Nigeria, in the history of Nigeria, that has craved a geopolitical zone for the diaspora, which is the 7th geopolitical zone. And so far, we are hoping to mobilize all the diasporas, to join in changing the narratives in Nigeria. So yes, I'm the former continental chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Organization Europe, NIDO for short, and then been trying to be in the service of the diaspora over the past 8 years. I'm still on that business of doing diaspora business.
And you just returned from Nigeria, and the Delta State is being threatened. Could you please enlighten our viewers?
Well, we just I think there's a circulation going around that some bandits, the Fulani headsmen, threatening to attack Delta State for the governor's position, banning the open grazing. It's unfortunate that Nigeria of today, that every Tom, Dick, and Harry can get up and threaten the security of this country. It has shown that this country have a leadership failure in terms of security issues. There used to be a country where a naira is greater than a dollar. It was called Nigeria. It used to be a country where university students go on 3 meals subsidized a day by the federal government. It used to be a country where headhunters are waiting for graduates at the university to employ them once they finish from school. But now here we are talking about an unknown bandits, talking about the security of Delta State, and not only of Delta State, but of Nigeria. So I think it's a shame that Nigeria has degenerated into such a state where everybody can threaten the peace and security of this country. It's a leadership failure. And so far, the Deltans, like you know, there is an adage that we normally say that Delta not they carry last. We as Deltans are ready, able, to defend ourselves when that is the case. If the federal government able to defend us, we have no choice than to defend ourselves. And the ADC as a party are mobilizing the youths. They'll have to let them to know their rights, self-defense, and address actually most of the issues that brought us to this area, including youth empowerment, including mentoring and so on and so forth. Yes, it's a threat, and a threat to be taken very seriously. In as much as we don't give them so much publicity, but it's a threat all the same that we need to get prepared. And again, like I said, it has been a leadership failure on the side of our government, both at the federal and actually at the state level. And I hope that we'll be able to collectively tackle this menace of insecurity in Nigeria.
Yeah, thank you. But it's not only Delta State that is being threatened, is it? By such letters and things like that.
Well, no, not quite. I mean, we've seen that across the nation. That's why I said that it's a leadership failure on the essence of security. I mean, it has never been so bad in the history of Nigeria. People could travel from Maiduguri to Aba in the past, from Lagos to Ueli without any molestation. But here we see them happening in Abia State, with them happening in Imo State, in the Western region, and now in the Eastern region. So it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. We have to ask ourselves, how did we get to this? How did we get to this area? How did we get to this point? And now we have to address how do we get to this point, and what are the leadership of this country doing to address this situation? All we can say is that they have failed woefully. ADC is going to come up and hopefully address those situations given the opportunity.
Okay, as a way of announcement to everybody watching right now, Ben Television is projecting this program as we speak on Sky Channel 182. So if you want to give a call to someone who has not been watching, let them go to Sky Channel 182 and they'll be watching us live. This will continue for the next minutes we're going to have, and so that's just by way of announcement. I have some reactions from the public, people who have written in. I have this one from Adekunle, who says that Nigeria is that you call developing country is fully opened up and America is open up. Why not UK? I have another one from Awojobi. It says it is a balance between economic and human life. The two are intertwined. It has nothing to do with conspiracy theory, in my opinion. Please keep your comments coming in. I will be reading them as much as time permits us. We really want to hear from you. So be watching us and tell people they can watch us directly on Sky Channel 182 as we speak. Thank you, Honorable Kenneth. But let me ask my colleagues their reaction to that. And Nat, what's your immediate reaction to Kenneth's interjection that Delta State is being threatened? Is not the rest of Nigeria being threatened?
No, the location of Delta State. We need to know the location of Delta State. Delta State is in the South political zone. Has boundaries with Edo State, Kogi State, and I think Ondo State, and one or two other states.
Anambra State as well.
Okay, Anambra State as well. This is not the first time we hear this threats or ultimatum being given, and if you trace the source of this ultimatum, it's coming out of these people who said there must be open grazing, and we know who the people who are supporting open grazing are the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, or let's say the herders, the Fulani herders, and they are doing this ignorantly, because even the president himself is very ignorant, and he displayed it with his interview Arise media team and on the national June 12 broadcast. The grazing reserve of open grazing laws of 1964 did not include southern Nigeria. Those grazing laws were only limited to the northern Nigeria, northern provinces by then. And so those people who are threatening Delta State are ignorant of history. They don't know what they are doing. They are terrorists. And I think they should be, Buhari should speak to them in the language they understand, because that is the new lexicon in Nigeria now. Speak to them with the language they understand. So
Okay.
it's an empty threat. It's subversive, and I think we should Delta State people should not even give a thought over such threats.
Okay, let me ask one of the leaders in ADC to add his voice. Mark in Milan, what's your take now?
Okay.
One of your leaders said that this is a serious threat to Nigeria, especially Delta State. What's your take?
Yeah, that's my chairman.
No.
See, Diaspora Network Europe.
Yeah.
Yes. So I stand in as the media director and publicity secretary.
Okay.
Now, it's a very serious situation, even though we use the word empty threat. Yes, the letter was written with no signatory to it, no address, nothing, but it was sent and pasted on the walls of a particular place in Delta, in Asaba. We don't take anything lightly now. The way situations are in Nigeria, nothing should be taken as mere wave of hand. Delta State is an integral part of Nigeria. In fact, the existence of Nigeria stands from the percentage of revenue being generated from Delta State. You all know what I mean, the oil and the gas. And so nobody should talk to Delta State, Deltans like that. You know, Delta has been very, very significant in the nation building Nigeria. They've also added to that stakeholding entity called Nigeria. So this is a threat. We call it empty. We are not calling it empty. We are taking it serious. Growing up as the son of a military man, my dad says, never leave your opponent. Never undermine anybody in the field of battle. Don't say that person is not capable of doing anything. That person could surprise you. So we will want to, ADC as a party, we want to call on the federal government to take that letter very serious. Because when ADC is in power, such letters will not even be written, because we will make sure things are geared up in well placed, and there won't be threats coming to people's life. I mean, how do you threaten a people, a town, a state, a nation? You don't do that. These are human beings. You don't come and tell me because I said something that benefits my life, and you tell me you're going to kill me for that. So the federal government should stand up and attend to this letter. Thank God, Deltans, like my chairman said, they know they carry last, and obviously all ears and alerts are on.
I'm going to ask Mazi Gossin. You've always been in support of the Biafrans. I mean, you are called a dot in a circle. Is that a kind of threat?
Well, thank you, Doc, very much. I think the problem is when our president makes statements, he's not well guided by very good English and literature experts and public speaking experts who can guide him in the use of words and phrases in his statement. And obviously, those who write his speeches probably wrote the speech sleeping or sleepwalking and wrote so many things that he doesn't know how to pronounce or pronounce wrongly. Probably referring IPOB as a dot in a circle does not mean the Igbos are a dot in a circle. And moreover, a lot of the South leaders and Southwest leaders have denied any alliance or agreement with Mr. President, as he said, that some South leaders had assured him or giving him assurance of their support or whatever. But the fact remains that the Igbos are Igbo, and we are a race that is reckoned with in history for generations and can never be referred to as a dot. And I believe that that is a very misused word by Mr. President. And if he really meant to respect the Igbos, he should rephrase from that use of word if he's referring it to the Igbos, rather for to IPOB as an organization. IPOB is an organization. IPOB is not an Igbo body. IPOB does not represent the entire Igbo agenda. IPOB is an organization. And if he says IPOB is a dot, then that is quite different from saying the Igbos are a dot in a circle. I think people are taking that statement out of context in some forms to generate a lot of divide and discourse on it. From my own point of view, I think he's simply referring to IPOB as an organization, as a dot in a circle, and not Igbos. Because if he had meant to say the Igbos in generality to be a dot in a circle, then that is an absolute insult and dishonor and disregard to one of the most enterprising people and nations among the nations of Nigeria. Secondly, I want to make it clear here that in Nigerian law and constitution, there is nothing there is no law about grazing and reserve areas within the constitution of Nigeria or in any of the laws that binds the country together, except for that which Mr. Nat earlier mentioned, the regional grazing regulation or law that was a decree that was passed during Ahumadu Bello. Is it Ahumadu Bello or the Saldana of Sokoto? And the Saldana of Sokoto, is it? Was the premier of the North, passed this decree for grazing and reserve areas in the North, which does not apply or is applicable to any areas outside the northern region, and was not in any way or in any shape or form inscribed into any of our constitution so to date. And there is no power within the constitution that reserves a right for the president to make an arbitrary law on its own without the National Assembly ratifying or debating or sharing that view of that particular executive order that we turn into a proper law. And so if anything that Mr. President is doing with regards to grazing and the reserve area, trying to enshrine it beyond the north and into the west and the south and the southeast, is trapping upon the spirit of the law and the constitution, knowing very well that Mr. President has always been a disobedient believer of the Nigerian law and order. In many cases,
okay. I want to get you Otumba, thanks, Mazi. Otumba Fadipe has written a book, Not Unto Death, and it encompasses a load of things there, telling us about the fear of the minority, not only in Africa, but minority anywhere. Otumba David Fadipe, please introduce yourself again so that we can meet you more, and then tell us about this book and tell us the fears that you are trying to overcome in this book.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Johnson. My name again is Otumba David Fadipe. I've just written a book where I've been writing it for 5 years, actually. And it's the book is called Not Unto Death. And in Not Unto Death, I went through a journey of fear, anxiety, and diagnosis, treatment, and of course, the final glorious discharge from leukemia cancer ward. Twice, not once, but twice in 10 years. And it was a harrowing experiences. And so when I was in there, I've never heard about cancer until I came into this country. And I've been here about 37 years, actually. So in this book, I just went into my experience of leukemia during the 2 times I was diagnosed. I brought out the fact that no matter what we have in life, health is wealth, because if it hasn't happened to you, you will not know, you will not understand. I also brought out the fact, sorry?
Go on, go on.
Okay. And then I also brought out the fact that in any situation, especially when we're facing life-challenging illnesses, family support, network support is so crucial. But one other thing I actually discovered going through treatment is the lack of knowledge or lack of information, if you like, amongst us, the ethnic minority, because I had to, in my second cancer experience, I had to go through stem cell transplant. And I realized that it was then I realized that us as Black people, we do not donate cells. It would have been extremely difficult if I didn't have any member of my family whose cells match my own. I probably would not have survived. You go into the same donation bank, there's nothing there for Black people. We do not have the knowledge, we do not have the understanding that if you donate your cell, which will not kill you, actually, cell donation is just donating blood. It can save lives. And, you know, I saw a whole lot of people in the hospital who unfortunately passed away because they did not have cell, they did not have cell that matches their own. So after leaving hospital in 2015, I've been, you know, I've been a cancer advocate. I've worked with Cancer Research UK, volunteered for and, you know, raised funds for UCLH Cancer Fund. So this book is part of my continued cancer advocacy to let people know what it's all about and what we look out for. There is a lot in there, but I wrote it from my faith because when I was in there, I realized that it was the grace of God that saved me. And so, yeah, that's what the book is about generally. It just, you know, I just wrote it that having faith in the unending grace of God and taking our problems to Him can be the surest healing medicine towards, you know, either cancer or any life-threatening illnesses. So that's what the book is about. It's
and if anybody wants to get a copy, how does he get a copy or she get a copy?
Well, that's very easy. We're having the book launch this Saturday coming. And of course, it's on Amazon now for pre-launch. The book is actually coming out on the 24th of this month. And they can also get it on our website, which I will type in the chat box if I'm allowed to do that. But the website is notuntodeath.com. And you can actually order the book in there and it will be delivered to you wherever you are. For my brothers in continental Europe, we need that finances, we need that money from from Angela Merkel and from Spain. So if you can help us spread the word to support us in this project, because I just realized I'm going to be going to Nigeria very soon in as part of my advocacy, going around churches, going around organizations to talk about this, just so that people understand that there are so many things we take for granted and we just have to look after our health.
How much is a copy of the book?
A copy of the book costs £12.99 United Kingdom money.
Okay, and it's been a good story, a good ending for you. And
yes, it has.
we will pray for others to also survive this year in Jesus' name.
Amen.
This is a very good one. We just have to commend you and thank you for bringing it to the limelight that people can overcome such challenges. As a matter of fact, I know many people undergoing many serious illnesses at this time, and it is so good that you have chosen to write yours. Are there any other things you think the minorities might be, the challenges they might be having, that they will need the strength of God to overcome?
Well, I mean, again, for me as a Christian, I believe that, you know, the one thing I find, one thing I know is that there really is no problems or issues or questions in this world that the Bible does not have an answer to. You just need to, we just need to, you know, get ourselves a match in the world. And you'll be surprised. All the answers are there. Is there for healing? Is there for poverty? Is there for even minor illnesses, is there for childlessness, is there for even when we talk about racism, it's there. The answers are there because we all know how even the issue that is happening in Israel now and Palestine. Somebody was telling me the other day that actually Jesus was close to Africa than he was with the West, because where Jesus, the places that Jesus were, and all the landmark sites were in either Turkey or Palestine, which are closer to Africa. But the point is that, in every challenge that we face, whether we are ethnic minority in this country, for example, we face quite a lot of challenges. We might not know it. Some people who have done well, like most of you on the platform, you probably would not notice every day, but believe me, even though where I live, which is a very, very good area, sometimes you drive your car past, or sometimes you walk, when the weather is good, you still hear people hooting the cars on you, ping, 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 telling you that you don't belong here and that kind of thing. For me, being a child of God, it just helps me to overcome all of those things, because I'm just thinking that, God has given us the grace to live happily. That's just my belief, really.
Oh, thank you very much. I think this resonates with all of us here on this program. And Nat, I know it resonates with you. You are a believer, isn't it?
You want me to comment?
Yes, not unto death.
Okay. There is a similar phrase in the Bible.
Yes.
We talks of none of the diseases.
John 11:4.
Okay, thank you. And your name is David. We cannot.
Yes.
We cannot overemphasize what God can do, which no man can do. In addition, we'd like to congratulate you for putting pen to paper and producing this book. Writing a book is not a tea party. You need all the wisdom, divine and physical. You need all the time, the patience, and ability to coordinate your ideas. And so I will commend you and recommend this book to people, not only people of faith, but people who want to try and see what God is able to do. So I think you've done very well for yourself and for the Black community. Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, because this is about humanity, I just want 10 seconds of contribution from everyone on the platform, not unto death. I mean, Delta State is saying that they don't want any threat unto death. Mark, I know you are a pastor. Tell us something, not unto death.
Yes, beautiful summary. Sir David, I wrote a comment there. I said, great deeds you're doing.
Yes,
Sir
yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
While you were talking, it just came on me too, that you went through a trauma, you went through a very a close to death situation, but you came out of it and you are now able to give us some details and some benefits and some outlook that we probably don't know about these things. That's unique on its own. Not too many people go through health situation and they don't give a story about it, or they don't come up with anything, So the mere fact that you went through this and you came out and you're putting up something for us to read and understand and throwing light into this issue, that's awesome. So I want
we have our viewers contributing as well. From Funsho Akin Agumbiade, it says a brilliant book. Pretty sure the book will be a blessing to a lot of people. So we're receiving points about the book. Another one say very great indeed. In fact, very great deed. In fact, Melina Dosa. And so you are going famous already. So, well, we want you to spread the news and let the book be sold all over Europe, all over Africa, and somebody somewhere needs this message. That what you
Yeah,
are going through, whether it's health, whether it's life, is not unto death. Is what you believe. Do you
Yeah,
believe you can overcome? You will overcome.
absolutely.
exactly.
On this program, I'm not supposed to preach, so I won't preach to you. Meet with our man Otumba Fadipe after the program, and he has a website that has been displayed, and he will preach to you, or talk to my brother in Milan, Mark. He will preach
Yes,
to you.
we will also put on
That's
our
going to
magazine.
broadcast.
Yes, we will also
We
put on our
got a short break
magazine.
right now. Mark, they are all coming to Italy, so be prepared. We got a short break. When we return, we'll be giving you the latest from Nigeria. The president has spoken. What do you say? We'll be right back.
It has been 1 year of coronavirus, and that sickness has affected the whole globe. The aftermath will even be worse, the way the scientists are telling us. And we believe that we need to counter it right now. If 1 million souls should do good to 1 other million souls, it will be a better place. So we want to start this project. 1 million souls to do good to 1 million souls. Why don't you join us? You don't have to register anywhere. Follow me on Twitter at Shegun Johnson UK for daily tips. There we show you how to do good to 1 person. Always remember, 1 million souls, do good to 1 million souls.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Thanks for staying with us. We have this development going in different parts of Nigeria. The president even went to Lagos State to open a train station. But we want you to have a look at what happened in River State. There's a kind of special development going on in River State. And we have in the studio someone to come and discuss about it. But let's first of all take on this video of what is going on in River State. Some of you may be hungry right now.
Commissioning of River State cassava processing plant. Cassava as one of the important plants in Nigeria, the third largest source of food carbohydrates. Nigeria is the world's largest producer of cassava. Cassava is classified as either sweet or bitter, like other roots and tubers. The governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele.
Investments such as this will no doubt help in driving economic growth, reducing unemployment, and inducing other wealth-creating activities in this state. We can no longer afford to support continued importation of items that can be produced in Nigeria. So far, the sum of over 300 billion naira has been disbursed to various projects in the southern part of the country, covering activities in these different economic sectors. The CBN remains committed to working with the state government in supporting smallholder farmers and processors across other commodities such as cassava, oil palm, and fisheries. Cassava can be developed into the various byproducts that is needed for the industrial development of Nigeria. Let me assure everyone here today that the CBN stands ready to continue to collaborate not just with Rivers State, but also all states of the country in supporting the development of viable agricultural and manufacturing sector in our country. Yes, Wike, you've tried, you've done your best. And we pray and wish that other state governors can also join this train.
The executive governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyeso Wike, stated,
This place can be, turned to an industrial park. It employs not less than 150 people. That will yield employment for our youth, that will create opportunities for our local farmers. Over 3,000 farmers will be supplying their cassava to this factory. We have a lot of vast land, nothing is happening to it. Apply to us that you want to farm 1 hectare for only cassava. Government will give you seed money to go into cassava planting. But it will not be like the former one, where you took our money and ran away. We gave out not less than 5 billion naira. As I speak to you, I have not seen our people come back to me. The money is given to me. See what we have utilized it to do.
The commissioning was made by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Mohammed Sambu Nanunu.
The significant thing about today's project is that this project is in a completely rural community. Cassava, where they go through the route of cultivating cassava, processing it, today one segment of it has been mechanized. They just cultivate their cassavas, send them to the plant for weighing, and they get their cash paid.
In River State, Mildred Choma, Ben TV News.
We expect our man from Rivers to come in right now and so we understand is that an event. Yes, that's from the event you are hearing in Nigeria. But if you could reduce the music coming in, Honorable Pauline, could you please introduce yourself and what Governor Wike has been doing in Nigeria? Just bear with us, bear with us. We'll get it right in a second. The Commissioner for Information in Rivers State is Honorable Colin and is a bit busy, but we will try and get him on so that he could feed us with the information that what the Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State has been doing with cassava. Cassava is actually well grown in Nigeria. But studio, please, as soon as it's ready for us, connect him with us, and we want to hear from him directly. So yes, so please connect us with him or connect him with us, and we'll listen to him directly. As soon as it is ready, just bring him on. In the meantime, I want to ask my colleagues what they made up of President Buhari's speech or interview with the Arise group. We recall that last week the president met with the Arise group of Dr. Olusegun Adeni, Dr. Ruben Abati, Abiola, and Obegbina. And I mean, he's no longer new. But what are the impressions of people? Let me start with you, in-house researcher. Nat, what was your impression? Your immediate impression?
Well, my immediate impression of this Arise presidential media chat was that that was maybe for the first time or second time that the real Muhammad Buhari, retired general, who was elected in 2015 and 2019 to be the president of Nigeria. And he's not any Jibrin from Sudan. So we really one need to be convinced that there's a double Buhari or there's a Buhari somewhere else who comes on and off the political scene in Nigeria. From the speech, well, the recorded speech, it was not a live broadcast. Some of us are convinced that what the presidential media people have been talking about, especially Shehu Garuba and Femi Adesina, Buhari didn't contradict all that they have been saying these past 6 years. So it means Buhari knows exactly what he's doing. That is his strategy of there were some claims, the claims, all these elaborate projects he said he has executed, they were really not his projects. These projects were conceptualized, executed to almost 70 or 80% by the PDP, and Buhari is just coming to commission these projects. And one other thing we could pick from the media chat is the man really his handlers really need to sit him down, whether the speech writers or who will help him speech or who will help him speak good English, because that cannot be the president of Nigeria in 2021. People want goods and services delivered to them. People want security. People want welfare for Nigeria. And these are the things we are lacking, grossly lacking big time. We have never seen the governance of Nigeria going down so low in any history that we remember.
Okay. Please, those who have been, continue bringing in your comment. We just received one from Akiande Oluwafunke Abibat. He said, "This is great. I can't wait to order for this book. Please don't wait to order for the book. Order now." Mazi Godson, I'm sure you watched the president media chat. What's your impression?
Thank you, Doc. Just like Nat have said, I think it's rather unfortunate that after four years, first term in office of our president or the president of Nigeria, Mr. Muhammad Buhari, he is still making similar mistakes as he did in the first 4 years of his office, in the final years of his office. Trying to exonerate himself from most failures happening in the country today is an absolute denial of facts and the responsibility. Trying to push certain responsibilities of the nation to the governors is a fear of the ability to govern a nation as being elected to do such. He has made himself look more weaker before the eyes of many Nigerians, even among his own kinsmen, who are now very, very openly clear that Mr. President has failed the country as a whole and has failed the leadership tenacity that the northern clients believe that is their household, and as such has not given a very strong motivation to those from that lineage to absorb the role of leadership in governance. And as such, is a thing that needs to be looked into seriously if in the next 18 months of his presidency there is going to be any form of change or a direction of affairs of governance in the country, because the pursuance of his leadership style is absolutely out of the modern society or the 21st century digital age forms of governance in any country around the world. Even the most smallest country in the world today have leaders that are sparing and inspirational and motivational about their governance and their leadership. The President Buhari has not shown that capacity, even in recent time. I mean, it has taken him about 2 years to be able to come openly in a public forum or come openly to a media chat, which I'm sure was highly persuaded by some quarters to make him to appear a media chat. But then throwing bombshells and blunders and throughout the media chat is another form of failure of those who surround him. Just to show Nigerians that there are so many sycophants who are there not to serve the nation, but to serve the master.
Okay.
Why serving the master?
I know that we have a lot of things to discuss concerning this one. Let me quickly ask Honorable Kenneth his own opinion. What is your immediate impression? Because we just have to move on to other issues. What will you say of his media chat?
Thank you, Doc. The media chat is exciting. You might be surprised to hear the word exciting. It's exciting and sad at the same time. It's exciting because for the first time, it is very clear to the world that the commander-in-chief or the president we have in the Aso Rock is a pure dictator. He has not really changed from what he didn't hide any. He didn't try to paint anything. He says it, or he said it the way it is. It is sad because we realize that we still have a president who still believes that grazing routes is a federal law, and he can enforce the grazing routes, across the other states, and even compel other states to provide the amenities for them along the route. I mean, it is very, very sad in this age. But actually, also it's exciting in the sense that it is very obvious from us at the AGC, and which is going to be a robust opposition party, or at least a robust opposition party for now, that the handlers of the president, or the belief of the generality that the president is unaware of most of the things that is happening in this country, that has been debunked once and for all. He was very, very clear that the youths owned him or owned this government. Apology for creating the massive unemployment in the history of Nigeria. It was very clear that the security of the state should be the prerogative of the state and not of the federal government. At the same time, asking the state to accommodate the Fulani headsmen and ask them to live together with them, as in the case of Benue State. So we are very, very clear where APC agenda under Buhari is taking us to. So anybody who is thinking that this president, this our commander-in-chief, is going to change in the remaining time of his office, can probably visit a doctor, because it's very, very clear what he intends to do, and he didn't make any excuse for that. So it's very, very sad. It's a sad situation where we have found ourselves in this country.
All right, let me ask your publicity secretary from Milan, Mark, my man, do you agree with him?
My chairman is always on point whenever he gives his take on issues. We've listened to our president, and as usual, he didn't hold back his feelings. He was in his frank self. My chairman just said it. We all can now see that President Muhammad Buhari is very aware of every happening around him. He's in good health. That's a kudos. That's something we are happy about. He's in good health, and his reasoning for in that last media chat, his reasoning was above average. We thank God for the good health. We thank God for him being awake to realities. He is fully aware of what is going on in the country. His actions and inactions are deliberate, and he has his way of going about them. He also has an opinion of what he thinks he wants for Nigeria. Yes, Buhari has his own opinion of what he wants for Nigeria. It doesn't matter to him what we all agree, what we all say. And from the look of things, the way I'm seeing it, Dr. Shagun, Buhari is not really controlled by any cabal. With his statement in that last interview, you can see that he is in control of what he's doing. He's continuing with the word national. He was using that word national policy. And sorry, were you saying something?
No, go ahead.
So our president is not swayed or impressed or moved by this mass movement and mass actions. He's not. All these demonstrations and opinion polls of any kind is not perturbed. He is cooking and serving his own dish. He is cooking and serving Nigeria the food he's preparing, and he's giving it to us. So with that all said, what Dr. Nat has said, what my chairman has said, if I were almost Nigerians, if we could turn around the mindset of people, we will say that let's stop this attacking of whosoever cabals. Let's stop it, because this man knows what he's doing. This man is doing his thing. Let's also refrain from some of these actions that will bring no results. I tell you, Dr. Shego, some of these demonstrations, we're just wasting time, and somehow affecting our economy, our own progress, because the man is not perturbed. The man has nothing to do with all. He's not moved by those things. We're not getting any reaction from him. So let's stop this this whole sentiments and emotions Nigerians are boiling all over. Yes, that's what that media was.
Let's ask Otumba. If we continue like this, if the Nigerian government and governance continue like this, this one shall be unto death.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more with both Mark and the chairman of ADC there. And I think Nat that spoke first really spoke my mind that we as in 21st century, to see our president talk in the way he did in that interview, at times I covered my face. I mean, a lot of serious questions were asked of him, and he just dismissed it with a smile, with a laugh, with a this. And I'm like, all over the world, we know that what presidents said, what leaders said, affects everything. Affects economic performance, affects market, the market, affects foreign exchange, affects everything. To have the president of the most populous Black nation on earth sat there and spoke the way our president did, I mean, really, we need let's say it's not to death yet. But it's not to death yet. But one thing I'm glad about is that, come what may, he has just under 2 years to go. Because if it's beyond
if we still survive that 2 years,
survive that 2 years, I agree. But the truth of the matter is that it was shambolic. And now I'm beginning to think, and then, I used to abuse people like Femi Adesina, and how could you throw your credibility and everything away? But now, like Honorable Bangias, sorry, I don't want to pronounce your name wrongly. Like the chairman has said,
you're allowed after the president did worse than that.
And like he has said, it's now confirmed that we're in serious situation where this is the problem. We are in a serious situation. You are even wary of saying to people that you came from Nigeria. Now I have to hold on to my red passport more than I did my green passport, just to say, I'm British.
Do you know that Nigeria is a surprise to the rest of the world. They believe that we are the most read in terms of percentage versus
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
population
that's the irony
all
of
over
it.
the world.
That's the
And
irony
not
of it.
only read, we are knowledgeable, we are wise, but when it comes to running and governing Nigeria, is unbelievable.
You know, that
So
is the irony of it, Dr. Johnson. You have just said it out. That's the irony of it, in the sense that you go all over the world, in NASA, in most of the major corporate organizations in America, in this country, in the
World
National
Trade
Health Service,
Organization, I mean, mention all the agencies of the world. We are the one leading.
Doctor, and even the government, not only the agencies, the UK, the US, the Germans, we have Nigerians all over the place. And yet,
in Italy,
in Italy, and yet we are as a country.
And then we
that's
have
why
a
we that's
president
why we
of
say that
country.
ADC, that's why we're here, Doctor. That's why ADC is harnessing, because ADC is the first party that will arise from Africa that is harnessing these vast, resourceful Nigerians and resourceful Black people.
Yeah,
And
the federal government is ready in harnessing your money. That's the one they want to harness. Just sending money home, sending money home. That's what they want to harness, but they don't want to harness your clothes.
we will change it, Doc. We will change it. We hope to change it. ADC hope to change it.
Let
the
me
only
ask
party
now,
with the same diaspora zone.
there is another abduction of school children, or shall I say, lecturers and students of Polytechnic in Nigeria in the last 7 days. Nat, bring us up to date.
Oh, I want to believe you are talking of Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic.
Yes.
In Zaria, Kaduna State.
Yes.
I think it was last weekend, around Saturday or Sunday, bandits invaded Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic in Zaria, Kaduna State, and they took away.
Bamali Polytechnic, it was formerly called what? Kaduna Polytechnic.
It was formerly called Kaduna State Polytechnic, Zaria.
Okay, thank you.
And so the name was changed. Incidentally, the emir of Zaria, as we speak, his name is Ambassador Nuhu Bamali.
Okay.
And the bandits or kidnappers or abductors went into the Polytechnic and went away with 8 students and 2 lecturers. And as we speak, they are still with their captors. The normal thing that will happen is 2 or 3 days after the incident, the abductors or the kidnappers will name their ransom in terms of money or other items they want. But we have not heard anything from the kidnappers. And again, it is taking place in a state where the governor has consistently said that he's not going to negotiate with bandits, he's not going to pay ransom to bandits. And we have seen the same Kaduna State, the Afaka 39, and then the university between Kaduna, between Kaduna and Abuja. The students were kidnapped, some were killed, and the government said they will not negotiate. It is the parents now that negotiate. They contribute money, they pay the bandits for the release of their children or their wards.
Okay. I just want everybody's reaction in 10 seconds because we have to go on a short break. Godson, in 10 short seconds, and I know you do normally take 10 long seconds, but in 10 short seconds, should anybody be going to a tertiary institution in the north again?
Doc, I say the most important thing for me here is about the word banditry. It is obvious that Nigerian government have not gone deep into defining what is a bandit and a banditry. What do they understand about the word bandit and a banditry? Is it a word synonymous to thief, robbery, and murderer? Are we supposed to be discussing and negotiating with a thief, with a murderer? Is it within our constitution? Do they just use the word banditry because they just see the word somewhere and just decide to call somebody banditry rather than calling the person a thief? Now we have people who are thieves of properties and human beings. They are not. This banditry is not it's a vague word. It's a vague word used for somebody who go to steal. It's a vague word used for stealing. So in our constitution and in our law of the land, it is an offense and criminality to steal. And people are stealing properties and human beings,
I'm looking at the time. Honorable Kenneth, in 10 German seconds, should people be going to tertiary institutions in the north?
To save you that 10 seconds, I don't even have any answer for that. But I just want to say under my 10 seconds what I have said. We have are terrorist organizations. In our last security meetings, it has been defined that we have terrorists. And there is a law and a constitution how to deal with terrorists. So what we have in Nigeria are terrorists terrorizing this country. The government should do the needful.
Mark, what's your impression?
For the meantime, people should be home. Schools should be closed until this whole this strange hour, Bible talks about strange hour, until this strange hour is settled. For the meantime, children, youth, students, colleagues, everybody should be home. Let's stay home and understand where this thing is, what is this that is happening to us, and let's find solutions for it.
Thank you. Otumba Kwadipe, you appreciate
my comment is very simple. We're talking about banditry, but for me, what I cannot get my head around is the fact that this whole thing is happening like Kaduna State, especially in Kaduna State and in the north. And then we have a sheikh going around to the bush to meet with these people, and then they take their pictures. And then with AK-47, I mean, do we really have banditry, or we just have people who have been unleashed on the nation? That, for me, terrorists who have been unleashed on the nation to terrorize us.
And supported by the government.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, when we have people, the government knows who the bandits are. They know where they are. They know everything.
We have Air Force jet. With a nonchalant government.
We can clear this thing in 1 week if the government is determined to end terrorism and banditry. We can do it in 1 week. Why are we not doing it?
We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll come to something else concerning June 12. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. It's Schengen Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
give yourself away for me.
Thanks for staying with us. The program is You Decide, and we're glad you are still watching. June 12th came with a bang in London. I don't know what went on in Nigeria, to be honest, but I can tell you in London, it was with a bang. The whole city was held to a standstill. Watch this video. What happened in London as people marched through the streets of London. Sorry for the poor audio of that video. I want you to watch another one, still on June 12th in London. Hopefully the audio will be okay. Sorry for the poor audio again. For those who have not seen it, these were the things that happened in London. In one could easily say two nations were dancing on the streets of London, the Biafra nation and the Odua nation. And they were saying that that's it, they're done with Nigeria. Nigeria is going nowhere, but they are ready to move on. Let me ask them, Nat, please bring us up to date on those two videos we couldn't watch properly.
I think the two videos have historical importance at different dates. Where there was a Biafra war, Biafra and Nigeria civil war, 1967 to 1970, And we also are aware that on June 12, 1993, there was a presidential election, which result we never got up till today. In the case of the Biafra incident, the war ended 3 years thereafter. Gowon declared no victor, no vanquish. But as we speak, a particular part of the country, especially the southeast, are still saying that the civil war is not over. They are crying of marginalization. The federal government, which talked of reconciliation, rehabilitation, and what the third R, the 3 R's. But they are not seeing that happening. They are witnessing marginalization. They are seeing some level of attack on that particular area of the country. And so Biafra, the republic, is still on. They are struggling. They're declaring. We're waiting for the announcement date of when they will be succeed. The June 12th, Abiola was seen cruising towards winning the elections, and the release of the results was stopped. And he started June 12th took on itself a life on its own, especially people from the southwest spilling over to the southeast, part of the middle belt, people agitating for realization of that June 12th. And actually, we were almost forgetting about June 12th until when Buhari came in and changed May 29 to June 12th. And we don't know what has changed since Buhari changed those dates. It seems things are getting worse, and people are demonstrating. The June 12th demonstration took place not only in Nigeria, in UK, here in London, in America, and I'm sure in Italy, maybe go to Milan. I don't know. So here we are in the middle of the game, and we don't really know when the game will end and what will be discussed.
Mazi Godson, are we getting 2 nations out of Nigeria, probably 3 or more than that?
Well, Doc, I think the most important thing here is about definitions. I have always stood on the ground that the way in which this Buhari government stole the heart of June 12th out of its reality and using it for its own political, sentimental uplift at the expense of those who should have been benefiting really out of the June 12th. Exchanging May 29th to June 12th is an act of deception and stealing the hope of democracy out of the reality in Nigeria. June 12th should have been a standout and standalone prospect of those who felt cheated out of that lost democratic journey. While the May 29th should have been the hope of every Democrat in Nigeria to celebrate. But then Buhari stole that, and now those who sold the idea to him, knowing that very well that this is a man that has no real thinking of realities, are now saying they have disappointed. Even Abiola's son made a statement on democracy on the June 12th that this is not the kind of democracy his father died for. You could imagine, after collecting the honor of changing May 29th to June 12th as a public holiday in Nigeria, you could see the disappointment in the face of those who thought this is the hope. But then, this is just the beginning of the beginning. The rally of June 12th is just a meaning, because on the 25th, the whole Igbos in the UK and outside the UK are going to converge in London. We are expecting at least nothing less than 100,000 plus on the street of London on the 25th of this month.
What will they be saying?
What's the anniversary?
It's not an anniversary. It's a mega rally in solidarity and in reference to the life and souls of the Igbo man and the Igbo people in Igbo land. We want to stand to say any more bloodshed in Igbo land will attract defense of the Igbo people against the government of Buhari. And we are meaning it to all the detail. And so by the 25th of this month, June, we are coming out in mass. The Ohanese and Igbo, the central Igbo, the community of Igbo, the Council of Igbo Communities, the Igbo associations in the whole of the UK, from Imo, Abia, Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, every associations that belong to any of these states, including the Delta Igbos, including the Ikweres in Rivers, all of them are going to come out. And every friends of the Igbo community, every friends of Igbo people in this UK and outside UK have agreed to submerge the entire city of London on the 25th to tell the government that
we won't charge you. We won't charge you for that advertisement. That would be free advertisement.
I have a
because
question
if we charge you, we won't even pay the money. So I just leave
I have a question for God.
We will pay you. We will pay you when we get. We will pay you when we get.
I got something from someone. Amos wrote, police fire tear gas on the Democracy Day in Nigeria. Protests, nationwide protests were called over bad governance, insecurity, and recent Twitter ban, among other issues. So there were protests in Nigeria, but police thwarted them with their well, they thwarted them. Let me just quickly call on Mark, then I come to Otumba, who wants to ask questions. Mark, what's your opinion on the June 12 matters?
Doc, every new day brings new situations in our country. Protesters hit Nigerian streets on June 12 to say that, like you just read, democracy is under threat from rising insecurity and bad governance. The demonstration came also because Muhammad Buhari has been struggling to control this terrorism, criminal abductions, and all these separatist movements that's been going on. The protest was all around Nigeria, Abuja, Lagos, Oyo State, Ondo, Port Harcourt, all witnessed protests. Protesters were holding placards, "Mark, Buhari must go," and demanding an end to the insecurity and all the oppression.
But there were counter-protests, weren't they?
Yes, there were also, that's where I'm coming to. There were also counter-protests in Abuja and even some part of Lagos. And well, all these agitations boils down to one thing. The country is not well. The country is not well. And we are obviously on the verge of who knows what next. We're on the verge, Nigeria is on the verge of who knows what next. Now, we saw in your place there in the UK, those demonstrations, two groups, the Igbos and the Yorubas. The song they were singing, that's a war song for it's time to go home, like to your tents, oh Nigerians. So these are strong red tips, red dots that are beeping to the presidency. And interestingly, like we just said of his media chat, the man is just there and he's not perturbed by all these things, which is so sad.
It is
sad. It's very sad.
Okay,
so,
let's quickly ask Otumba Fadikwe, what's your take?
Well, my take is what, like everybody has said, it's unfortunate where we are. I do agree with something that Godson said, though, that Buhari's change of May 29 to June 12 was a rape on democracy. It was a deceit of the highest order, because if including people like me, I was excited. Oh, thank God, at the end of the day, we're getting somewhere. That June 12 is being recognized. This person is going to change this and that. Unfortunately, things have gotten from bad to worse. But having said that, I also wanted to go back to what Godson was saying, which is why I said I wanted to ask him questions. If you say that, oh, if anybody was killed, you mean by government. But what has been happening in terms of all the INEC offices, in terms of all the infrastructure being burnt down in the southeast by unknown people? Who are these unknown people? So, and I just wondered whether that's something that we need to consider. But at the same time, it's unfortunate what is going on. June 12th should have been the beginning of the best to come to Nigeria. Unfortunately, it's led to people agitations wanting to leave and all of that.
I wanted
What's
to.
your website? What's your website address again before we
The
go?
website address is okay. I'll just type it on again. It's www.notuntodeath.com. Just the name of the book.
Okay, Not Unto Death, and anybody can check you up there. Honorable Kenneth, what's your website? So if people want to go, because we're going to close any moment from now.
adcnigeria.org.
adcnigeria.com. Yes, Mazi, in 30 seconds, you want to reply.
Yeah, what I want to tell Otuba is that irrespective of what is happening in the Southeast, it is very obvious that there are imported mercenaries in the Southeast that are not Igbos, that have been made to go to the Southeast to cause havoc and cause unrest and create a state of insecurity in the Southeast. And these people are the people going about in the camouflage of Igbos or whatever to burn police stations and INEC offices.
On June 25, please preach not unto death.
The fact is that any uniform army man that kills an Igbo man in Igbo land for no just reasons, we will not take it lightly again. That is the fact.
Not unto death.
I have a question for you. Is one Nigeria not better than we fragment and they have Odua nation, Biafra nation, Middle Belt nation, Arewa nation? Is one Nigeria not better? Is it not because Buhari administration really bastardized governance in Nigeria that these people are moving? If they had not bastardized governance, we would not be here. Is that not the reason?
One Nigeria that is just, that is equitable, that is honest, that affects the life of every Nigerian is far, far better. It will make us a great nation. It will make us the best nation in Africa.
Doc, I would like if you can give me 2 minutes to probably chip in with all these discussions.
Okay, quickly, 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make it in 1 minute.
Okay, go.
We are missing the fundamental facts. One, Abacha said that any government any insecurity that lasted in a country for more than 24 hours, the government have a hand in it. That's Abacha. I didn't say that. Abacha said that. But secondly, we will continue to complain, like Mark said. The man we are protesting on is basically not being consigned. We must re-engage, both from the diaspora and from Nigeria. We must go back and take our country back through political engagement. I think it is very, very important. Otherwise, we are going to come back here in 10 years' time and we'll still discuss.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me reply you. Let me reply, Kenneth. You say true political engagement. Now, there are 774 local governments in Nigeria. There are thousands and thousands of polling booths. Which party, apart from APC and PDP, can man thousands of polling booths with 2 agents paid 5,000 naira a day, which means 10,000 naira times all the thousands of people who will be working with them? Which party in Nigeria can do that outside of these two? Which party outside of these two can get thousands of votes?
Doc, the answer is simple. You see, we have the diaspora who remitted 32 billion naira to Nigeria, keeping the economy of Nigeria from going bankruptcy. We left out what is happening in Nigeria is that because we said our politics is dirty, it's for dirty people or for criminals. and criminals in power are now making criminal laws for us. So we have no choice than to mobilize those our resources. What brings us out as diaspora is the human capital that we have. For us to bring those human capital together, financially and otherwise, people who are
Honorable Kenneth, I will one day want to engage you for 30 minutes on this program.
Please.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Otumba Fadikwe, for coming. I want you to all watch this video about our information minister and what the people on Twitter have done with it. Do not ban Twitter in Nigeria because you may never get this kind of video again. Give us, Honorable Minister, and the Twitter boys.
The nature of Twitter in Nigeria is very, very suspect. What? Very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Very, 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 very suspect. 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 What? Very, very suspect. 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 Very, very suspect.
Studio, show it from the beginning. Show it from the beginning, if possible.
No, Doc,
because
this
is enough. They are very, very angry.
Doc, this is enough. It's a suspect. Then Lai Mohammed should go and arrest Twitter. Because when you have a suspect in your hand, the next is to arrest.
Except we cannot get it. Video, can we get it from the beginning? Because it will not be right.
The nature of Twitter in Nigeria is very, very suspect. What? Very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Very, 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 very suspect. 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 What? Very, very suspect. 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 Very, very suspect.
That's how far we can go today. I want to thank you, my colleagues, Gostin Marcy,
you people should pass.
From Milan. I want to thank Otumba Fadikwe for coming. I want to thank Nati Yako, and of course, Honorable Kenneth Badi from all the way from Germany. I also want to thank those who are in the studio, Anthony, All Saint, Hazel, and finally our executive publisher, Dr. Alisa Shoyode. Until next Wednesday, when we bring you the latest around the world, this is You Decide. God bless you all.